Howdy do. This is also probably going to have, just fair warning, even if we mess up, we're just going to keep it going, I'll edit it out later. Mess-ups or jump cuts or anything like that, in which case, kind of a face reveal thing. I don't really actually have a script for this. It might have been actually probably a good idea beforehand to figure out what exactly I was going to say. I guess what I could do is reiterate the twitlonger I made last Saturday when I said I was going to be doing this, as well as the second channel and everything. There was a divide, let's just put it that way, there was a divide in the family, and to avoid a certain individual, I decided to use the mask as a means to kind of minimize my appearance online without having to necessarily not do anything at all. And the mask worked, actually. They were not able to ever find me through this, and of course then through also my other username, which was unknown at the time anyways. But the thing about it, what's kind of interesting is how it kind of grew into its own thing a little bit. When I started using this officially was actually on Vine in late 2014. And it became kind of its own character then. So then when I transferred over to YouTube, it kind of continued to be its own character, which was actually kind of cool, because it's probably never really going to go away. It's, for the history of the mask itself, it's actually something I got working at the YMCA at the time. And our particular team, it was our YMCA versus like another YMCA, like the YMCA Summer Olympics that they do, and our team had these bandanas. So like all of us that worked that summer have these actually, and I kept mine. And so I used it, and it kind of became like a thing. And so now it's why even my cartoon character has the mask too, because it's kind of iconic. Think of it kind of like Kakashi from Naruto. But not exactly, because he's probably well more known at this point. But one day, we'll get there. But in short, that's kind of the really serious more reason of why that was the case. They would track us physically where we were, but they weren't able to really follow me around and figure out where I was online just with that mask. So then I just kind of would use that mask, and it kind of worked. Again, not going too much into it, but that same said individual kind of learned about my YouTube and then basically all the other stuff in 2017. So at this point, they know both, probably if they're still tracking where we are physically in the real world, but they know about this, so they know about GG Get Jinxed, and they know of all that stuff anyway. So at this point, it's kind of more of a hindrance to myself in terms of if I want to grow possibly with like a brand. You kind of need a face with the brand. And the mask, while it's cool within the subs, and it's cool like its identity that it's taken over as a kind of like a pseudo mascot with the GG Get Jinxed and stuff, in terms of reach, it doesn't really help all that much, actually. Unfortunately, because I do rather like it, personally. But with that being said, since they kind of at this point, the one person really that we were kind of doing the whole minimalizing ourselves for to minimalize and keep away knows everything now. Like, they know where the Batcave is, if you will. Then there's kind of no point not doing it with everybody else at this point as well. It also just makes it easier. Like, as much as I like the mask, recording certain things with it, or face cams and stuff, it works as a pop filter, but now I like have a mic with a pop filter. I figured, you know, why not? Why not just do the face reveal? Why not kind of get to, if that's going to be the case, get to be me? So then, in terms of the face reveal, when it came to YouTube, I kind of decided two things originally. One, if I got to like 1 million subscribers, I'd do a face reveal, because at that point, if I had like 1 million subscribers, there's like, as I say, strength in numbers, or safety in numbers. Should that person have ever tried to stir up anything, I'd have like 1 million people behind me, and usually that'd probably mean we'd be kind of safe. Or at least something would be out there if I suddenly disappeared or something. Probably wouldn't go that far, but just saying, right? That was my thinking back then. Two, speaking of Kakashi, I thought the character was written on Naruto in a way that their face was never going to be revealed, like literally ever. So by me saying that, I was like, I'd never have to do a face reveal. There we go. But then they decided at like the very last part of like the very end of the entire series to throw in like one more filler where then he actually does reveal his face. And so he betrayed me, and it still wounds me to this day, actually. But, you know, that is what it is. I did accumulate 4 million loops, which is basically views, overall across my Vine before Vine went down. And the thing about that always gets me a little bit is like, when I look at all the popular Viners that transferred over from Vine to YouTube, besides apparently doing very questionable things, you know, like filming stuff they probably shouldn't be enforced and all that jazz, one of the things I've always wondered is, well, what if I had a face back then too? And so when I tried to transfer from Vine to YouTube, maybe YouTube would have been more successful because there would have been a face with those jokes, with those skits, with those 6-second bits of comedy. Maybe not. Maybe that we just would have been in the exact same place as we are now. But I always have to wonder that now, and now I kind of won't have to going forwards, at least on this channel. So looking at my channel analytics of my current channel, whenever I do variety content, even within League, the channel takes a hit. but I do them because I like doing the variety content and to avoid burnout. So I figure what I'm going to do is just narrow GG Get Jinx to like a League Jinx only channel from now on. Play to the crowd, and again, that's like the bring home the butter, the bacon, the bread, whatever you want to call it kind of channel. And then this one can be the variety stuff like skits, games, and raps on this new second channel. And it's not to blow up 2 channels. This channel will just be like, hey, I want to dump an idea here that I think is really good but doesn't fit that channel, so then that channel doesn't actually take a hit from, you know, doing the variety content. As fun as it can be, and it is fun like within the subscribers, it's not something that helps the channel grow, right? Like even if you look at the Jinx rap or like just the Jinx week where we did a bunch of Jinx different content, the art for Project Jinx and stuff like that, like within the subscribers, it was actually received very well, but it wasn't actually something that could help the channel grow is part of the problem. And I kind of got to make that channel kind of like a channel like that. Now, to be specific though, that doesn't necessarily mean you got to copy other people. One of the things, if I give advice real quick, don't try and like copy and compete with Red Mercy and Fi. They're 2 of like maybe the bigger creator names that maybe you know of, just as an example, right? The thing about what you kind of want to do is look at what you could bring to the table that other people aren't doing, because if you try and compete with them, you're just going to end up looking like a clone of them, and people are just going to be like, well, why not just go to them instead? They're bigger, they have maybe a better production, editor, etc. than you. Or unless you could bring something else to it, like maybe you bring comedy that they don't. Whatever the case is, I personally say don't compete with them, instead look at what, you know, you could do different in terms of like, you know, you go to Red Mercy maybe for like the Challenger gameplay, you go to Fi for like the PvE stuff, and then maybe you come to me for the conversation, the discussion. We discuss the changes, and everybody's opinion is kind of welcome, whether you're bronze, diamond, everything in between. You can come to my channel, and as long as you're civil, of course, have a discussion about whatever's going on, right? That's the kind of the idea that I would kind of want to pass off to people, because I think that's something that sometimes you want to maybe emulate some people when you're starting to get an idea of how to do YouTube, but don't become a clone of them, right? Like allow them to exist, and then you exist as something different. So, basically to grow on YouTube, what I'm saying is you need to find a niche, and you need to kind of play to that leash. On GG Get Jinx, mine's is League, particularly Jinx on top of that. So don't compete with those people, instead trying to figure out what you can do and bring to the table that's different. So that's what I kind of did. But sometimes, of course, to satisfy the algorithm, you gotta make that occasional PvE or like champion balance video, or, you know, unfortunately that one video that randomly gets like 4,000 plus views on Zoe and bringing all those angry people about Zoe in the comment section that you gotta swim through. So there's that. I'm not saying anything against the League community, I'm just saying sometimes that can get draining. So sometimes the second channel is a little bit for a break from that too. So also over here is going to have more of an original name, right? Like if Riot and League fell tomorrow, and I don't mean like they cease to exist, I just mean if they did something super bad tomorrow where there's a negative connotation attached to Riot Games and League of Legends. For some people they've already kind of have, but like I'm talking in the public eye, everybody, right? GG Get Jinx is kind of very attached to that brand, and it's not something I could carry in other places, right? This name over here, I kind of can, and as such, part of also kind of what I wanted to do this idea as well too. GG Get Jinx kind of was unpartnered, and then I worked hard. I did, you know, the 7-day-a-week videos until I got back to the partnership changes, like the new requirements in June. Channel's still under review all this time later, so there's that. But it's also kind of that too, to avoid burnout, to avoid then trying to keep the channel up until YouTube, I guess 6 months later, is still reviewing my channel. I gotta kind of do the variety content, but the variety content can't really have a place in the main channel, so that's also part of why it's moving over here. So once again, basically, if you're here for me, and not just for the League content I do, you probably want to be on this channel, more so than the League channel. The League channel is going to kind of, unfortunately, become kind of a, I won't say like cliche, but it's going to be like, what do I need to do over here to make sure this video does very well kind of a channel. This is going to be the more for fun channel, the more we try the different stuff, the new stuff, the fun stuff, and maybe hopefully down the road the helpful stuff if this channel grows to a point where I can do things like charity streams or whatever the case, whatever comes across, right? So I decided though, with waiting all this time for YouTube to review my channel, what if I put all that effort into Twitch? Well, I actually got affiliated in mid to late October, putting all that effort into Twitch. And also kind of want to kill the Will Smith meme. That's a meme, I don't know where exactly it came from. Well, I do know where it came from. It came from back in the days where I used to clean shave, but I kept the mustache, and I actually would wear the hat forwards a bit, kind of like Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. I don't see it. I still don't see it. Some people will purposely say they see it just to keep that meme alive, but there's also that too, so we can maybe squash that one. I kind of also want to take a second to say some thank yous, just like some quick shoutouts, right? Shoutouts to all the people like from high school that didn't forget I existed after graduation. Shoutouts to all the people I've met on Twitter, either like way back in 2011 with the Space Scrape and all of those jokes, or the Surrender at 20 crew and all those people. Shoutouts to Let's Plays, but shoutouts to them because sometimes you want just mind-numbing entertainment after a long day, stressful day with all the stuff that has kind of gone on behind certain things. It's kind of nice maybe to just throw on something, even if their reaction to, let's say, Five Nights at Freddy's was fake. If it was entertaining, sometimes you just want to take your mind off of stuff. That worked too. But also shoutouts to some of the following people as well, that I will name specifically, like Scarizard. We've mentioned him several times on the main channel, mentioning him again here. He kind of knows about some of the stuff, not necessarily all the stuff, but still they were supportive, and their stream has also just been like a supportive place to be about anything in general, right? Like, so like last year when there's some stuff going on, their stream was just a good place to go and chill. And it was also civil, it was kind, it was caring, it was nice, it was great. So shoutouts to them. Shoutouts to Black Anola, because he was also kind of in the same in terms of like supportive in the YouTube side endeavor, because he also works now for an NCN and stuff like that. But also he gave me some advice on how to do like the raps and some other projects better, so it's because of him some of those are turned out as well as they did. Shoutouts to KimplE for the host, or I should say the raid also, over on Twitch when I first got affiliated. And there was a whole, like, mass of people that came in. That was very fun, too. So that was great. Shout out to the Yorls. Miles, for example. He's actually someone that gave me a really good bit of advice when I first started doing the raps that I've carried over till now. So shout outs to them. Also shout outs to Sunny, because I've never had a conversation with them that wasn't a meme or funny. And sometimes you need funny when stuff goes south. So there's that, too. Shout outs to Falcon Shield in general, Bad Administrator, Anti-Rivet, all of them, because a lot of people cope in different ways. My coping mechanism usually is music, and their music was definitely a large part of it, so they're good people. Check them out as well. And also just people, period. You watching this video, anyone who's ever been in my corner, thank you. Actually, I will finish. I'll finish by reading directly off this, because I kind of somehow wrote a quote. You two might have hard problems, troubles, struggles, obstacles, unspoken things you still will not speak of, and some of that might be on the back of you not feeling like you have done anything in your life, or not where you want to be. Despite doing YouTube, I ain't typing this is not a mansion in LA. Spoiler alert, in case maybe it did look like a mansion in LA, that's cool. But after all, but period. I feel you on that front. But sometimes you're successful in other ways regardless. Like, for example, the ways mentioned above, how people have kind of helped me even without knowing it. Sometimes your worth, if not always really, is not and should not be connected to what you finally reach, or when you finally reach that goal. Today maybe you failed to accomplish a thing, but that also maybe you impacted your friends in some way, right? Like maybe you had that goal to do that thing today, you didn't do it, but because that joke you told with your friends that made them crack up laughing, you've made their day now for like the rest of the week. You've done something else, even if it wasn't that thing you set out to do, and as such, you're still worth. Like your worth is still there, you're still important, you still matter, it's all good. Don't like demean yourself because you just didn't reach that goal and it's like just out of reach, it's hard to reach, whatever the case is. Do not beat yourself up over that. It's basically the thing that I'm trying to get over here, right? Tomorrow's another day after all. If your victory didn't come today, maybe it comes tomorrow, maybe it comes a week from now, who knows? But as long as you're still striving for it, you're not a failure either. So that's basically what I want to also end this on, because I think a lot of people unfortunately value themselves too much on their immediate success, and sometimes it's the long game, right? This was a long time coming, the face reveal if you will, right? Like, we couldn't have done this 4 years ago when Vine was a thing, or even 2 years ago when we first started doing YouTube, right? We can now. I can kind of get to be me. This ain't going nowhere. Again, this is still going to be a thing in some capacity. But I probably got to cut this video down quite a bit because I can only upload 15-minute videos max, and this is longer than 15 minutes. But that's all for this video. So, this is the new channel. I've fused it with my name, fused with the name, or the word I should say, game, because it's probably going to still mainly be a gaming-focused channel, so it's Gamrison. Gamrison. I know that looks a little bit confusing, but it's a work in progress. It's also a name I can carry to other things as I do other things, probably on this channel, besides League. All the League stuff is probably going to be over there, so everything else is going to be over here anyways, so there's that as well. You could probably guess my real name then based off of that, but if you can't, I'll just leave that up to mystery, I guess. A little bit of a mystery to leave you on. But that's all for this video. So thank you so much for watching this video. I guess you could like, comment, and subscribe, but on this kind of a video, it's not really necessary. But, okay, I guess we gotta do a new outro, because it's a new name, huh? I don't know which video will be next. We're just gonna have to wait and see. So until next time, take care, and enjoy pizza responsibly.